Welcome to Intuitive Seek. My name is Mary Train, and as an intuitive guide, energy healer, and meditation teacher, I aim to bring you a grounded approach to all things energy and intuition. Everything I share is with the hope to help you remember how your unique power of intuition is your own greatest teacher. Hello, welcome to your intuitive week for the week of August 11th, 2025. How are you? How has the first bit of August been for you? Does it feel different? Do you feel quite a shift from July? And before we dive into the energy update, because today there's a bit of astrology that I found inspiring, and I wanted to check in about it, maybe offer a bit of inspiration to you too. And it does connect to the energy update as well, but I wanted to check in around Mercury going direct today, the planet of communication, intellect, governing technology, travel. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. And yes, you probably have heard many times about Mercury retrograde 4 times a year, and it tends to be the one that we hear about the most. But I love being inspired by this phase, this astrological phase. Because it's going direct now, the last 2 weeks, it's been under the influence of Leo. So the messenger of the gods, the planet that rules communication, expression, reaching out to each other, technology, was in Leo. And like I shared in the August energy impressions, we know that Leo governs the heart. It is all about our creative expression, connecting to the childlike wonder and awe and creativity. So because Mercury was retrograde, that's when we had the opportunity to really revisit, reignite, to remember and reclaim so much around those themes. So before we go into the energy update, I just wanted to offer that this week, now astrologers do say that we're in the shadow of it, but because I'm not an astrologer, but I love being inspired by the themes and the archetypes and the energy, I find that this time with Mercury going direct, this is a great time this week to look at what you did revisit. What did you learn? What did you remember? And really connecting that to creativity, to your heart, to your inner lion, to the leader within you. Where have you been led? Where have things shifted and changed? What direction are you going now? And is it because of what you learned about yourself and your path over the last 2 weeks? I know I have. I have so many things coming up that I will share that are creative projects, and they have been a labor of love because they have taken me through many different underworlds of myself, really having to pay attention to all of the ways that I distract and put off and procrastinate and leave behind these very real opportunities that I feel so called to do, but there is just a gap between me now and me actually doing it. And I have shared this with a few friends before, this kind of push and pull I have with my creative expression and everything that I do in my work and my creative work. And a lot of the times, People that know me personally are surprised because on the outside, it does seem like I'm doing a lot, producing quite a bit, but there's so much more that I want to do. So it really is relative. And over the past 2 weeks, there has been a lot of insight and guidance. I don't know if you listened to last week's episode, but revisiting your journals and finding some insight or guidance from your past self. If you did that, I did that. I found some beautiful, beautiful things that I really needed to remember all the way from July 2020. And if you haven't really had a chance to do that, do it this week. Don't worry about the astrology not being technically retrograde anymore. I mean, they do say we're in the shadows, so the energy is still there to revisit, but use it as an inspiration. That if you haven't gone back yet, looked at what your past self has left for you to find, revisited aspects of your heart and that power within you that you need to have another look at, what you need to reclaim. If any of that is resonating with you, then use this time. Use this time to do that because this is the season for it. And one of my my late dad's favorite quotes, one is, if not now, when? If not now, when? So use that as a little bit of accelerant for what you need to do. Okay, so let's get into your intuitive week, your energy update for the week of August 11th, 2025. And for anyone that is new, welcome and welcome back to everyone who has already listened before. But if you are new, a quick recap of how I do this. So as an intuitive, I go into a deep meditation, a nice deep meditation with the intention to receive insight, guidance, symbols, anything that I can translate with my intuition and offer us, because it's not just for you, it's for me too. So I try my best to translate with as much clarity as possible everything that I experience in the meditation and use this as a way to trust your intuition, a way to develop it. If what I'm sharing resonates with you, if it feels like I'm speaking to you, then that's why, because it is for you. But if you're trying to maybe fit it into your life or, oh, maybe this is what she's talking about, then trust that. Maybe that part of it is not for you. So use these energy updates as a way for you to navigate how your intuition speaks to you. So I'll share what I experienced in the meditation, and then I share the animal that came through so we can be inspired by their energy as well for the week. And then I'll end with some intuitive questions, some soul questions, journal prompts, whatever you want to call them, ways to go even deeper and help to integrate any of the insights that resonated for you. All right. So when I opened up the meditation, the words, return to your fire, that was the message. That this is the week remember, to remember what lights you up fully, to remember everything that you've done to make you feel lit up, everything you've done in service to your fire, to your powerful light, how you shared it, how you've helped others with it. This is the time. It felt very strong and clear to remember and return to your fire, to revere it. And if it's difficult for you to really connect to that, bring all of your inner awareness, soften your eyes, close your eyes, and bring all of your attention within you and ask your intuition to show you your fire and just trust what you experience. There's an opportunity to really express your vital life force and for you to feel it and connect to it and to really feel how it empowers you. And the first thing to know is what that feels like. So, returning to your fire, how can you do it? What does it feel like? Where is it propelling you? There's so much clarity that we can receive from connecting to that empowered, vital life force that we are made of. And then in the meditation, it moved to a different scene. And this was a scene of grass, taller grass, and peering through it, looking through the grass, moving the blades, finding something. And as you're moving the blades of grass and really looking for something in between all of this green, there are little treasures like gems and gold pieces. And it felt like this was insight to this week. Some of us could be searching for the treasure that we already have, that it may be hiding. Maybe it's hiding within your heart with all of the green. Maybe it's hiding, waiting for you to be more grounded because of the grass and the ground, and they're hidden in between the blades of grass. If you're resonating with this, connect to that treasure. Did you put that treasure somewhere for safekeeping? Is it time to retrieve them? And how do you know? What are they? What is the treasure that you already have that you just need to find? What treasure are you seeking? Because it might already be with you and you just have to find it. And this could also be connected to the resources that we have. Maybe you've overlooked resources that you feel like you need to fill in the blank, to do something, say something, create something, start something, but maybe you already have them. Maybe those resources are just waiting there for you to see and remember and claim them. Maybe there's a security that you're searching for, that you need something to feel that security. But it feels like from the meditation that for some of us this week, we get to see that we already have it, that we haven't been acknowledging the resources, the treasure, the security that we already have. And then as that kind of scene closed, there was a lot of red and a big focus on the first chakra, our root, the root energy center. So this week could be the week to pay attention and support your root. This is the energy center that may need connection from us and also attention. The energy we hold in our root is where we connect to our security and the safety within, that feeling of being safe, being comfortable in the uncomfortable. The root is believed physically to be found between the lower spine and the perineum. It is represented by the color red, linked to the earth, the ground, of course, linked to feelings of security and safety and survival. It's the foundation of our energy, the energy center where we can anchor into our rooted, grounded energy. When our root chakra, that first energy center, needs support, needs attention, we can feel insecure. We can feel controlling. We can feel more angry. We can have a really difficult time taking action. We can feel stuck in our circumstances. We can feel like we have no choice or any direction. But when it's open and balanced and connected to the rest of our channel, working as that foundation, we can feel secure and safe, safe in our present and in our future. We can feel resilient and able to, be comfortable in that uncomfortable, to withstand whatever challenges life brings us. We're grounded, not only physically, but also energetically, in our mind and our spirit and our energy bodies. We're more cohesive, connected. We're not so separated within our being. And with the root, this does remind me of if anyone has been on a healing journey of any kind, then you know, hopefully, that healing is not a cure. When we are focusing on healing, it's not about anything that needs to be fixed because nothing is broken. There's nothing wrong. The only thing wrong is that we are not accepting all parts of ourselves, all aspects of our energy. Healing is acceptance, remembering and accepting all parts of ourselves, but also feeling completely secure in accepting others, releasing the expectations we have for others, releasing our control over how others act and do. And of course, luckily for me, and hopefully for you too, I do have the free meditation on Insight Timer where I was able to hold the Reiki universal healing energy in the recording. I have a system for it. And in that Reiki healing meditation, it's focused on supporting your root. So I'll put that in the show notes. And if this resonates with you, if you feel like, yes, I do need some attention to that first chakra, I am only focusing on my third eye or my crown, which is very common when we are opening up to this kind of new world, this new awareness of energy. We tend to want to continue that. And we feel like, oh, the upper energy, the upper chakras, that's where we need to focus. But the best thing that I have experienced for myself and so many clients is that the more grounded, the more connected and secure, the more foundational energy, balanced and open we have, the higher, in quotation marks, the higher we can go. So don't sleep on your root. It is time to focus on it again. So yes, I'll put the link for that meditation in the show notes if I didn't say that already, and feel free to listen to it and see how you feel. You may want to do it 3 days in a row and just see what shifts, but I would definitely recommend it. Because in this energy update, we are returning to our fire, right? Seeing how we can express it and honor it and allow it to be the vital, empowered life force that we carry. So, of course, our fire needs to grow. To do that, we need to expand it. But we need to feel safe to be able to do that. We won't have the ability to grow and express this vital fire if we don't feel safe or secure. So by tending to your root, that tends to your fire. Think of it as the logs on a literal fire. Without those, sure, you need the kindling, but you do need the foundation to keep the fire going. In a similar way, that's what our root does, the foundation to keep our fire going. So, yes, definitely new levels of comfort in the discomfort, opportunities this week to do that, to feel very steady and grounded and create an even more stable foundation for your energy. And then the next image that came through in the meditation was a scene of being knighted. So the act of we're being knighted by someone in authority, queen, king, someone who has authority over us. But then the scene shifts and it's us again. We are the ones knighting ourselves. We are knighted by ourselves. And I had to look up what it really means to be knighted. So I wanted to share that. So the definition that I looked up, because it's not really something that I think about often. And I love when things like that come through in the meditation because it feels like, okay, something for all of us to look at and understand. So to be knighted is formally recognized by a monarch with the title of king or queen or a head of state, typically for outstanding service or achievement. And right away, what a perfect metaphor for that. If we are able to knight ourselves, to recognize ourselves, to honor ourselves for outstanding service and achievement, that's what this week feels like another opportunity that may open up could be. How can we honor ourselves for the outstanding service, what we have done for others, for our community, for the world around us? God knows it needs it. And then also, how can we honor ourselves for the achievements that we have had, that we have achieved? Sometimes when we say celebrate ourselves, that can make us contract a bit and not want to. Why should we celebrate ourselves? It can make us feel unworthy of it. But if you think of it in this way, even that image, think of yourself, if this resonates with you, think of yourself kind of kneeling in front of yourself and you are honoring yourself. You are knighting yourself. You are giving yourself all of the attention and maybe even a new title for the outstanding service and achievements that you have had. And trust the things that come to you. Don't judge them. If this resonates, those services, those achievements, they are most likely already swimming through your awareness. And with this insight from the meditation, if we are our own authority, with this insight showing that, then it does feel like this is an invitation to see maybe where in our lives we could be waiting to be granted the authority, waiting for the permission. So, what are you waiting for permission for? What authority are you waiting to grant you something? And can you shift that perspective and see, oh, I can actually do that for myself? Why was I waiting for someone else? Another way to really honor that fire, your fire within, is to make empowered decisions and actions. And that may be what you want to do this week. And it does remind me of a meditation that I did this past week. And I hope this is clear enough because it is a bit hard to describe, but I feel like it may be helpful. So in this meditation, stay with me. In this meditation, I was connecting, journeying within my intuitive universe, within my energy. I was connecting to my future self. And I saw very vividly where my future self, 5, 10 years from now, it seemed, where my future self was, where I was, very, very vividly. And I followed my future self to a room, and they were going to meditate. My future self was going to meditate, and I was meditating to connect with this future self. So it was a little strange. It was quite different, but it felt so energized, like really powerful. And so I kept connecting to my future self who decided to meditate, which was different. And then I realized that my future self was actually meditating to connect with me. So in my meditation, my future self was meditating to bring more connection to me, their past self. A very different journey, but so helpful because by connecting to my future self this way, in a very new way, it wasn't passive. I wasn't just watching. I wasn't just receiving a few pieces of clarity or a message from them. We were really meditating together. And it was very different, but so beautiful. And again, so helpful. Because through that deep connection, I was able to feel fully what it feels like to be in that life in my future. I not only was able to see it, but I felt it. And I felt it on such a different level. And I have done a lot of connection with my future self. I have a meditation that I created for everyone. But this was a different one, a different way. And I received so much guidance that I needed from my future self in a much more connected way. And I'm sharing this because what I received showed me that the me in the future, my future self, does not exist without me in the present. Pretty obvious, but I really saw it. By honoring my dreams with actions, my future self was showing me that. My future self was so invested in making sure that I commit and don't give up, don't get distracted, that I really trust my intuition and continue to follow it. And it's simple and quite obvious that what we do now is in service to our future. But in this specific meditation, it was such a depth of feeling, of knowing that I'll say our future selves, because it does feel like that's why I'm sharing it, not just for me, but that our future selves are counting on us, that it is critical for us to do what we feel called to do, or else they do not exist. I really felt in my body and my soul, in every cell of my being, that the future is real and it's happening now. And everything we do now is in service to experience that future in the way that we experience time. That we cannot wait for everything around us to behave and align. That will never happen. Like we need to be the change, just like that Gandhi quote. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Because everything we do, if we take that action based on what we're really feeling, the true desires, the way our fire is leading us, where it's growing, that is for our highest good. And if we fulfill and honor our highest good, that ripples out. We fulfill and honor the highest good of the world around us. By fulfilling our destiny, we can fulfill the destiny of the world. And I logged off of recording for a second because I really wanted to look up that quote. First, to triple check that it was Gandhi. Yes, it was. But there is no actual historical evidence that that was the verbatim quote. That's the quote that we have now. But I found that it is most likely from a passage that Gandhi had said. And I wanted to share it because it's very beautiful and on point. So here's the quote that is believed to be where that other quote comes from. We but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. This is the divine mystery supreme. A wonderful thing it is, and the source of our happiness. We need not wait to see what others do. Isn't that beautiful? And so much of what we are already talking about? So lovely. And that's funny. I was just about to go into the animal of the week that came through in the meditation, and that made me laugh because I love this podcast talking about animal energy, quoting Gandhi, sharing my meditation journey from the past week. I hope that it was clear enough for you. But I will say, with that future self meditation, the journey that I went on last week, like all of my meditations, they all have come from my own meditation journeys, co created, I would say. And so this one, I'm going to do it a few more times, and hopefully I can create it for you to experience, because it was kind of a deeper level of meeting your future self. So kind of a chapter 2 of my Meet Your Future Self. This is like connect deeply to your future self. Okay, but let's get to the animal. What animal is inspiring us this week? The animal that came through in the meditation, another surprising one, was the skunk. The skunk. And yes, of course, we can think of the stinky skunk, but they are so wonderful. Their energy is really beautiful. And I love that the skunk came through because as I was reviewing the skunk energy and what it represents and the symbolism, it connects to so much of what we are already talking about. So for this energy update, the skunk will help us even more to understand where the opportunities may be this week for us. So the skunk represents the energy of self-respect, humility, transformation, empowerment, self-esteem, healing, adaptability, patience, fearlessness, and our unique gifts. So as you listened to that energy, each of the descriptions, how does that inspire you? What does it make you think of? What does it bring you to within your life? And then I did want to share an excerpt from Animal Speak. You got it. And this excerpt about the skunk is really lovely, and I felt like it fit beautifully for this episode and for this week. And this excerpt is from, as I said, Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. The skunk is one of the most widely recognized mammals. It is also one of the most misunderstood. It is very powerful with mystical and magical associations. Just look at how people respond to it. They show great respect for it and what it can do. This is a part of what the skunk teaches. It teaches how to give respect, how to expect respect, and demand respect. It helps you to recognize your own qualities and to assert them. The skunk does not get out of the way. It moves along at its own speed, with its own mind. It is self-assured and confident in itself. It can help you with this particular aspect. It can teach you how to be more self-assured and how to assert yourself. Skunks are fearless, but they are also very peaceful. They move slowly and calmly, and they only spray as a last resort. When skunk shows up, you may have opportunities to bring out new respect, self-esteem, and empowerment. And listening to that, how does the skunk symbolism inspire you? And as always, many questions throughout the episode that you can use as journal prompts, but I did want to offer 3 to help you if anything resonated with you and you wanted to go a bit deeper. So these can be used as journal prompts, or you could answer these questions as a voice note to yourself, or just a way to think about something on a walk, however you feel called to use them. So for this week, the first question could be, where in your life are you feeling misunderstood? And how can that guide you? And number 2, what treasure do you seek? What treasure or resources are you looking for? Do you feel like you need? And can you see that you already have them? Describe them and then look. Look at the descriptions and pay attention to how much it connects to what you may already have in your life. And you just have to remember them and find them and use them. And then the third intuitive question or prompt, how can you knight yourself this week? How can you honor yourself for your service and achievements? Make time for it. This one feels maybe the most important this week. So how can you do that? Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Intuitive Seek. And I would love to hear if you resonated with the energy that I'm feeling that we're moving through for this week of August 11th. And please don't hesitate to reach out. I really love connecting to you. And if you have any other thoughts or questions, you can message me through my website, treenlight.com, or go to the links in the show notes. Very easy to navigate there. And if you're curious about working with me and how I can support you, again, in the show notes, all the links are there for you to explore. And if you feel called to give some support, then please share this episode with a friend, or you could leave a review. That is so helpful and really supports the podcast to help other people find it. So thank you so much again. Be kind to yourself, and I will talk to you next week.
Hi, Auntie Mary. I just wanted to say something very